Well, the Second Civil War of the United States has unofficially started. If you've been following the Texas border problem, and really the border problem we've had for quite a long time now, for decades, that just can't seem to get figured out. It's interesting how just nothing really ever seems to get done. However, the state of Texas, God love Texas, is taking matters into their own hands. And I predict that this year and going forward, really starting the last couple of years, states will begin to really exercise their sovereignty. As you may or may not know, states in America really operate as countries. They have their own secretaries of state, they have their own attorneys general, they have their entirely own governments. And really just in the last 100 years, 50 to 100 years, we've become so federalized and again so collective and federalizing so much power just to the top and centralizing it that states have lost their way. Just like Congress has lost its way and really all but come eradicated and pretty powerless. They don't declare war anymore, which they're supposed to. They don't really ever have a budget anymore, which is their job to control the purse. We've become a nation of rulers and not rules, a nation of men instead of law. We are a nation not gone under yet, but close. The drowning man in the water, wildly grasping at anything, any vestiges of life and quickly spiraling. So Texas sent they blocked or refused to comply to a cease and desist letter from the Biden administration, and they basically said, "Get out of here. We don't need we don't need you here." And one of my predictions also is that you're going to have a case where, if Donald Trump does get in, this is kind of side tangent, but Donald Trump gets in, there's going to be rioting, there's going to be mass chaos going on, and sparked by the progressive Marxists in this country and around the world. They will spark things, and then naturally you're going to have some type of military reservist, something going on to try to quell the chaos and the rage going on. And then you're going to have people come in and say, "See, we told you Trump was a racist, he's a bigot, he's a homophobe, he's a fascist." Mark my words, that's going to happen. This will happen. These things are going to take place. And it's sad. It's so predictable what's going to happen. But in this case, Ken Paxton, who's the Attorney General, going back and forth with the Biden administration, and they said, Ken Paxton said, because the facts and the law side with Texas, the state will continue utilizing its constitutional authority to defend her territory, and I will continue defending these lawful efforts in court. And of course, the Biden administration, what did it do? Came out and gave these unsubstantiated, most likely, whether they're true or not, doesn't matter, but they could just come out with emotional stories. There's a woman and 2 children just drowned because you people didn't let us come in. And Ken Paxton said, no, we have reports we get all the time, but we don't have any report of people drowning. Nothing. How would the government know if they're not there? If they got kicked out, how would the government know that? The federal government. So again, critical thinking is just all but gone. Most people read that, but that's so terrible. Well, how would they know? How would the federal government know if they've been kicked out? These simple questions, we're not even taught in school how to critically think, how to act. And we're not even taught that states have rights. States have the rights. Federal government is a background character in this story. Federal government is not supposed to be the king maker and the ruler and Al Capone and doing whatever they want. This is not how the Constitution laid things out. It's not what the Founding Fathers wanted. This is not why America was great for 150 years until collectivists, Marxists, Fabian socialists came about. It started centralizing everything and trying to take power into their own hands, which go watch our other video about Davos and the governments and how these people are just arbitrarily picking themselves and picking their friends and relatives to lead groups of people to centralize more power and to corral the people and herd people and shepherd them into different areas that they want. These people are not gods, they are nobodies. They are just arbitrarily chosen, or they are just self-imposed rulers, and they go collectively to go congregate and try to network, build relationships, and then shepherd people where they want them to go and convince people and persuade people into doing what they want to do so they can gain more power. Period. End of story. This is how all governments work. This is how these world entities, World Health Organization, World Bank, this is how they all work. And once you understand that, things start to become very clear and you're put at ease. That this isn't some big thing to tackle. This isn't some monstrosity that can't be taken down. These things can be done overnight and gone, and they won't affect our lives at all. Actually, our lives will be 1,000% better than they ever could be with these people in power, in thinking that they're in power. This is wild. On top of it all, the federal government is going to sit here and say, oh, because we're not there, so not sure how we know people drown, women and children. We aren't there, but people did drown. How would you know that? And number two, how dare you? How dare you? Federal government that has been putting people in cages at the border for who knows how long, who is actively, by letting the border be run rampant and have no law and order at all for decades. Sex trafficking, just trafficking in general, slavery is literally rife and abundant because of the policies of the United States of America and really Europe and the borderless world that we're trying to create. Now people just have free reign with trafficking. It's got to be the best time ever to be a trafficker. And on top of that, the U.S. is over here bombing Iran, bombing Yemen, bombing whoever they can, Ukraine, sending stuff to Ukraine. Now we're over here in the Middle East. They're over here just wiping people out, dropping bombs on their heads. But they're going to lecture you at the other side of their mouth. At the other side of their mouth, they're going to say, FHA has just saved one person. Look, these people are drowning over here. Ooh, we got to save them. They don't care. The federal government doesn't care. We're all numbers and statistics to collective groups, centralized groups of people, because they have no connection to us, so they don't care. We're just a digit on a screen to them. It's just like the government saying, well, we got to get rid of assault rifles and guns. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. We have to. If it saves one kid. Yet, mind you, they're funding million abortions a year, literally killing humans inside of another human. Literally killing them. 1 million, funding that every year. But we gotta get rid of gunzo. Gotta get rid of guns, which is literally a fraction of the amount of deaths in America. If it just saves one child. I mean, I'm laughing because it's so stupid and so idiotic that you have to laugh or you'd cry, you'd go insane. Think about that. These people, government, collective groups of people, constantly, Davos crowd, well, we gotta get rid of the energy, we gotta get rid of the carbon, but yet we're gonna fly here, the other side of our mouth, we're gonna fly here in private jets, we're gonna fly here in a massive jet, or whatever, to get here and spew carbon emissions everywhere, because we need to get together and pal around and hire escort services at night and have these wild parties, so that way we can control the world and take power and freedom away from you. End of story. Speaking out of both sides of the mouth. Can't have it both ways. But now we know how the system works. It's just arbitrary groups of people. That's all it is. There's a lot more of us. There's a lot more of liberty and freedom-minded people than there are the couple people, fractions of a percent at the top. Just remember that. All it takes is voicing your opinion and truth, voting with your wallet, and voting with your feet. Using money doesn't steal from you. Using actual money, equity money, instead of debt-based fiat currencies. Period. These things start to then unravel. They are suffocated. The global apparatuses and the world apparatuses and these games they play in groups and governments, they all are then constricted like a boa constrictor. When you take away the fiat government debt-based currencies, you constrict their power. You constrict their movement and their voice, and they are powerless. Because that's what they really are. They're powerless to good people, to truth standing up. I appreciate you more than you know. Please share this out, because the algorithm hates truth, and they're hating videos like this. And that's why we get so few views. I have so many people messaging me all the time, how does this not have hundreds of thousands of views? Well, why do you think? Why do you think that is? When we're literally on a platform, whether it's Rumble or YouTube, or whatever this channel is, or Substack, it doesn't matter. People don't like truth. Period. I don't like truth a lot of times. Let's be totally honest. I do this mainly, selfishly, so that I can reinforce my own principles to myself every single day, so I can keep myself accountable. But we have another video we shared of Davos attendees saying we need to have big tech boost the real, .gov sites and the real trusted sources of opinion. We need to, put down the sources of the misinformation. What do you think they're going to think of this video? What do you think they're going to think of any of my videos and any of the content we talk about? Do you think they're going to be boosted up on this very channel, or do you think they're going to be blacklisted? I'll tell you this quick story. My TikTok started 1.5 years ago. I have a friend of mine as well. It went viral, had like 150,000 followers in like the first week of doing TikTok. and subsequently then got blacklisted, talking about a lot of truth, the financial system, he's an insurance agent, talking about a lot of similar things we talk about here. Well, he eventually got blacklisted after like a year and a half. Me, though, I started a little bit after he did, a year and a half ago. I had 4,000 followers just within like the first month or two. I was getting hundreds of followers every week, and then all of a sudden I started getting strikes and appealing them and winning. But eventually they just blacklisted me enough where I was getting 1, 2, 3 followers a week instead of 1, 2, 3, 400 followers a week. So they say, well, you're not censored, you're not out, you're not welcome here anymore. So you just lose interest in the platform because what's the point? If I'm not getting my message across people, I just go somewhere else. And quite honestly, it did work for me. We still go on TikTok from time to time, but it worked. They constricted and choked out truth, and they propped up. You go on TikTok, you'll see porn, you'll see satanic things, 666, you'll see any number of things, violent things, ridiculous things, brawls at schools, totally fine. But you dare call out the monetary system, the demons all over the world working in centralized powers and groups, world organizations. Nope. But I don't care. I don't care at the end of the day. I will pick up my cross and I'll lay down my life. I don't care. I don't care. And if enough people have that attitude, 1%, 2%, 3% of people, that's it. The world changes instantaneously. It's a choice. It's a choice. Putting truth ahead of my own life, putting truth ahead of our own goals, putting truth and our calling and our mission ahead of a quick paycheck, a quick payday, some attention, some awareness. Whatever. I'll have 20 views in the rest of my videos till Timbuktu, till Kingdom Come, whatever. At least this is what's staying intact in here. Please share it out. The algorithm hates truth. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust, but verify what I'm saying. And this is not financial advice, it is freedom advice. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.